You know, I think she battled to accept that the firstborn died. So then there came a time wherein she was staying with my adopted sister. She would call me and say, Mom is sick. And then 4 months into the relationship, the guy decided to go down on one knee and says he wants to marry me.
Wow.
Got well, great. Sharp. I agreed. I said yes. When I stopped YouTube, shame, I was making a lot of money. Because remember now, I had this main one, the T World, that was, the minimum was 80,000 rand a month. I had employees, I had staff, you know. Then I had other ones, because remember with Ndhibu T and Pastor Bay, it was another channel as well where we were doing gossip. So we were doing gossip with that side and other channels as well.
Do join. Sanibonani Dumelang, hello, bonjour, igama uzan enda, in the spirit of my guests. Don't forget, we are the only podcast that is here to educate, inspire, and entertain you. That is why today I am bringing you the queen of the entertainment right here on YouTube. This is one lady who taught me one thing in secret. That you say, I love you, like you mean it. And the person who's watching actually feels that I love you.
Wow.
Ndhibu, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good.
By the way, women say not nda.
Oh, women Okay. And when I'm greeting a man,
you still say then the men will say nda. So you never say nda.
Oh, I never say nda.
No.
So G taught us wrong because he never teaches us anything except
nda. Nda. It's because he's a man.
Because he's a man.
Yes. So we don't say nda, we say
But you know, funny enough, my daughter can speak Chivenda.
Is it? Oh, that's great.
Unekanda Elilula. She came to Johannesburg when she was doing grade 10. She's fluent in Sesotho, Tswana. Well, my mother-in-law, my late mother-in-law is Tswana, where she stayed when I was out of the country. She speaks Sotho. I guess that she got that from school because when she came, she was mixed up with other kids.
Oh.
I don't know Chivenda. I know at some point she had a friend who was
Venda.
Yes, and then, is it Chivenda? Chivenda. What is the correct?
It's Chivenda.
When you're saying the language, it's Chivenda.
It's Chivenda, yes.
But when you are talking about a person who is from Venda, it's...
They speak Chivenda.
They
still
speak
say Chivenda. Only
when
when you're saying I come from Venda. Yeah, Chivenda, it's a language. Venda, it's where we come from. Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And if you've got a life-changing story, don't forget, you can DM us on Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. You can also voice note your story on 0719419417. Ndhibu, you made me fall in love with YouTube. I know you don't know this. We've met a couple of times. You made me fall in love with YouTube. Not just YouTube, but a faceless YouTube. Because at the time, you guys were dominating the space. Kwakungazi ukuthi i-YouTube is for abantu abaglamorous. Kufanele ufake makeup, uphathe a glass of wine, ulibambe ngemino 2 with long nails. And there you came with a faceless YouTube doing entertainment. What was the inspiration behind it?
Okay, so firstly, I never wanted to be on camera. So faceless was the easiest for me because I can speak and can do whatever I want, but faceless. I was never comfortable with the camera and everything. So I felt like, because when I did Google, like, can I do a faceless channel and all that, it says yes I can, and then I read some stuff there. I was like, this is perfect for me. So I could express myself with just my voice, and I do know that I have a very beautiful voice. So
beautiful radio voice.
Yes. So the only thing that sort of like was a challenge for me was English. I was being corrected every single day. Like sometimes I'll be having 90 comments on a video, ne? 89 will be corrections. That's not how you say that word, you say this way. But for me, Shem, it was not a shock because I knew, because I taught myself English. Because YouTube for me has always been a lifesaver. You know, I taught myself English from grade 1 to grade 12. I was being taught English in Venda. So only when I came this side and my roommate was Zulu and Sotho, I had to learn English because then I couldn't communicate with them. So even when they would come for me with, hey, correction, English, for me, it was a learning lesson for me. Every single day during those comment sections, whatever, I was learning.
But you did it so well.
Thank you.
Because you made some of us fall in love with YouTube. Because as much as I was in YouTube at the time, I was not active in a sense that I want to do something that has got a niche or people that can relate to. I was just like checking out things here and there. And I was frustrated with the fact that if I want to come into the space, bonke abantu must be glamorous. So mina ngizovele ngingene ngumuntu uqasi nje like that. So thank you so much because you really inspired. And I know ukuthi I'm not the only one. And now there comes a time where you introduced to us a second person. Let me be honest. I was like, oh, another couple that is going to come into our screen, sithande, break our hearts, share kanjalo.
And then it ends in tears. And
I can count countless couples that came on our screens and I fell in love with them and the content. And they
then jiggy.
bahlukane kabuhlungu man yazi uzuzizwa ukuthi nawe phakathi kule relationship awazi noma unama-shares noma kunekota enhliziyo yakhe phakathi. You introduced this amazing person. Who is the guy you introduced to us?
That was my husband.
Yes.
My husband of 15 years, the love of my life, my best friend.
Wow. Guys, niyabona asemathandweni.
Yeah, no, for me, even we did get those comments. Some even actually sent us DM to say that, no, guys, don't do the couples thing on YouTube because it never lasts.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it comes down to foundation.
Yes.
I don't think YouTube or social media will destroy a relationship. It can just add onto already the struggles that you are having behind the scene. It's just unfortunate that obviously when you come on the socials, you do not share the struggles, so we don't get to see those things. We only see couples' goals. But for me, I knew my foundation. I knew that, no, man, we were rigid. We have conquered so many things in social media, you know? And for us, at least, social media, I can say, brought us where we are today in terms of business-wise.
And indeed it did.
Yeah, because everything started there.
And congratulations. Today we are coming to you live from the Sun Studios, which is the studio that is owned by you and your husband. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wasitropha nje kanjalo ku-YouTube thina wasilahla nje.
Ngizobuya yazi. Ngizobuya when the time is right. Ngiyabuya.
I also buyisele back Ndhibu at the time where you mentioned quite a couple of things as interested at the intro. Ukuthi you grew up in Venda, you were learning English in Venda. When you got into YouTube space, you actually had to teach yourself how to speak English properly and with the people on the comment section. How was growing up?
For me, growing up, when I was growing up, how I grew up felt normal. Only when you are older and you look back and you realize that that was not the right way, right? So I grew up without a father. My mom was, I'm actually a product of a side chick and a married man. So my father was married to another woman and my mother was a side chick. So I would see my father here and there. Okay. Sometimes maybe he will be dating my neighbor, then I'll get to see him when he passes by the street, you know, he was that. But for me, I didn't see anything wrong per se because that was my life. That's what I was... That's the only thing that I knew.
And
yes, it was like it's normal, you know. And most of the people there where I was coming from, now they didn't really have fathers in their homes. So it was not like, oh, those ones they've got fathers, Mina, I don't have. I don't think I ever had that moment of questioning myself for why don't I have a father and everything. But he was there, here and there. Whenever he feels like it, he would show up in my life and then jiggy, then he just disappears. It became a pattern wherein I got used to it. I knew that when he's around, I can just soak in as much love as I can get because the next thing he's going to disappear. So I grew up in a family with extended families. It was my grandmother, her children, which then one of them was my mother. And then there was me, my sister, my older sister, and the little brother. So my mom had 3 kids. Unfortunately, in 2000, the firstborn got killed by the boyfriend. So that's wherein we lost. Yes. I think that is the point in my life when I felt like everything had changed. Because when I lost with my mom, she used to work far from home. So she would come back on Fridays, leave on Sundays, sometimes on Monday mornings. So I'll only see her on weekends. Yeah. So my mom was my sister. So only when she passed, now I had to, because there was a point where now I had to stay with my mom full time. Unfortunately, by then, my mom was grieving my sister. So I also feel like I lost my sister and my mother. Yeah. Because she was constantly crying, also because there was no justice served for my sister. So I feel like, that is one thing that really changed my whole life because I feel like I lost 2 women at the same time. There was no, I lost my sister, at least I still have my mom. My mom died that day. And worst part, my sister had a child. So the family that killed my sister took the child as well. And I think they took him to Johannesburg. They were in Limpopo. They were rich. So then they said, we will never get to see my sister's child ever again.
Was there an agreement? Two families agreeing to it? Or
No,
they
it was the power
an
that they
upper
had.
hand because they have got power, they've got money.
They had the power and they had the money, and we didn't. And I think, but the reason why they had to hide him from us was because he witnessed my sister getting killed. Even till today, he remembers it like it happened yesterday.
How old is
He's 24. He's 24, and that's one part of my life that really breaks my heart. For those that have been following, there was a time that I would introduce him, even in the tea world, you know. So I got to meet him officially and have a relationship with him when my mother passed. So before my mom died, she'd been calling the family, can I just see my grandchild? I am dying. That was like maybe 10 years later or whatever, you know. The only time that they brought him was during my mother's burial. So that's where I got to reconnect with him.
They were cruel, man.
They were, yeah. So that's when we started having a relationship, and I decided to take him. I took him to rehab. He was okay for a few months, you know. He was working on the tea world. He was doing gossip.
I remember
there was a guy
him,
voice,
yeah.
yes, so that was him. So he will do the stories there, but unfortunately he relapsed. And it got to a point where I couldn't have him here because he was also sort of like abusive to my own kids, you know. So we took him back, and then my heart always breaks. So I took him back again, took him to rehab, and then he relapsed, and it's just a cycle that never ends. But I don't think I'll ever give up on him. So even now, he left. He was working here at the St. Studios. He was very good, very friendly. But unfortunately, you know,
He had another relapse.
Yeah.
Is it the one that is more like your first son now?
No,
is it
the
not
first
that
son
one?
is my mother's last born.
Okay.
So immediately when my mother died, I was already married. I was 21. But I was married in secret.
Let us not rush this. Ngoba uyabona,
Yeah, now we are everywhere.
Now we are everywhere. Let us not rush this.
Yeah.
Let us take it a few steps back. Now there is this child who witnessed a mother's death, who is now struggling with substance abuse.
Yeah.
And you are taking care of that child. Let us take it a few steps back, whereby your mother, because you also mentioning that your mother got sick at some point and passed away. What happened to your mother, if you're comfortable to talk about that? And because I remember there was a time where you did some kind of a documentary mentioning that.
Yeah.
What happened, and how did you actually finally grieve the loss of a mother? And then let's get to a point where now you are getting married in secret and taking care of your and taking in your siblings as your own.
Sure, can't believe this is one person we're talking about, me. Okay, so I got married before my mother died.
Oh, I thought it was after. Okay.
No, I got
right.
married before my mother died. She knew my husband as a boyfriend also when he engaged me. Because with my husband, I think we got married within 8 months of meeting. So already my mom knew him. They had a very good relationship. They were very close. They loved each other. I feel like sometimes, you know, when things happen, when you look back, you're like, oh, you know. So when my mother died, she got sick. She was always sick. I think it was since my sister's death, she was never okay. She would have depression. She was just always sick. You know, I think she battled to accept that the firstborn died. So then there came a time where she was staying with my adopted sister. She would call me and say, "Mom is sick." But she never used to really call me all the time because I was used to it. But that time she said, "I think this time is serious. Come back home."
Okay.
So I went home, and I remember when I arrived, they took me straight to the hospital. And when I got there, she was just laying on the bed. She could talk, and she could recognize everyone that was there. Like her friend was there, my sister was there, and everyone else. But she couldn't recognize me. Yo, that broke me. And I kept saying, "Ma, it's me." You know, she's like, "You who?" You know. Then she would keep on having conversations with the people that are there. It was like I didn't exist. And then eventually, that's when she's like, "Ndhibu, you are here." It's like now the mind was just, I think maybe she was just too sick, you know? And then she could recognize me and then would speak. And 2 weeks later, so when we would ask the doctors, every single day there was a new disease. I don't think there's any disease that was not mentioned. Started with stones, what were those stones?
Gallstones.
Yeah, gallstones, kidneys, what. Like there was just every new thing until it got to a point where the doctors will just say, "Pray for her." We never would ask what's wrong. It will just be that. Pray for her. And then 2 weeks later, she was after being in a coma, because after that day that I met her, she never spoke again. That was the last time that I spoke to my mom. And then 2 weeks later, she died.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's life, eh?
Eish.
And then that is when she died, I was 21. She died 2 days before my birthday. And then on my birthday, it is the day that I had to, because she died on a Friday. Yeah. So on Monday, on my birthday, then I had to go to the mortuary at the hospital. I don't know why they do that, but I had to go and identify her body. Yeah, but with me also with identifying, I thought it would be them saying, this is your mom, is it her? But with me, I had to open those bags with corpses and look for her, you know? And
why? They don't have labels from the hospital that...
I don't know, eh? I just assumed because it was, she died at a public hospital.
Yeah.
So the guy just said, there was a guy in there and he just said, no, look for your mom, she's here. So I looked, I think maybe I searched probably more than 15 corpses and I didn't see her and I was like, she's not here, you know? Also, but I remember that when I was looking through, I had hope that she's not there. That would mean she's still alive. Maybe they made a mistake. So also when I was checking, I was like, no, she's not here. She's not here. And he kept saying, she's here. Look for her. Look closely. Until I opened this other bag and she was just laying there. She had blood. I don't know what happens when a person dies. I've never even researched, but she had blood on her eyes, nose, and also mouth. And to cut the long story short, we got to bury my mom. So the person that helped me bury my mom was my husband. Remember I said we were married, but nobody knew that we were married. But my mom knew that he was my husband.
Yeah.
But the family, the relatives, whoever, nobody knew. And that was one person that really came through for me. And also during the burial, now you could see that, like the thing is my mom had already prepared me with the kind of family that I come from. We were not so close, right? My mother was like a breadwinner.
Yeah.
She was the only one that was working. She was supporting everybody. So she had built a house that everybody was staying in. That will be my grandmother, her children, us, and everybody. But she had always told me that these people are evil. They don't have good hearts, you know? And she will tell me that even when I die, it's not time for you to cry. It is time for you to gather whatever that you can, because they will make sure that they take everything. So also on the day that we got a phone call that my mother died, my grandmother was there and my mother's sister was there, my adopted sister, Grace, and Lucky was my little brother, and the helper. We had a helper at home.
Okay.
We got a phone call that she is no more. And then nobody cried, you know? And I remember when my sister now wanted to cry, my mother's sister was like, hi, why are you crying? Didn't you say that person died long time ago? Why are you crying, you know? And for me, that when it clicked what my mother had said, because she had always been saying it, that lock my room when I die. And that's what I did. I got up, I locked my mother's room. And I remember my grandmother's words when she said, yo, now that Irene is dead, I need to sell her clothes. My mom was a lover of things. She had a very
She's not even
taste.
buried.
We just got a call now. And my grandmother is saying that I need to gather the clothes so that I can go home with them and sell them. You know, I remember my the helper auntie. She called me and she's like, "Are you that?" Because she was Sutu and we are vendors. So she was asking, "Are you that culture that when a person dies you celebrate?" Because she could see, man, that it's not like somebody died the way that everybody was, you know. And I said, "No, we are not that, but it is what it is, you know." I think Naye, maybe because she was very close to my mom, I'm sure she knew what kind of family that we come from. And it was on a Friday. Saturday, they woke up and said, now we are going home. We'll come back on Monday, which means they are going home. They are leaving the kids and the helper. No one was there that weekend. So my husband drove.
Supposed to stay with you.
Yes. So it was just me, my sister, and the auntie, and the friends will come in because she was staying far from home. They had like a company house. So it was like people that stay, that works there, they stay there. So those were the ones that were there for us during the weekend. My husband also came. He drove that day because he died on Friday, and he drove throughout the night, and I think early in the morning he arrived. So that was it. And after the burial, my husband then said, because we could hear the conversations that, where are they going to stay? You know, the conversations are happening in my mother's house. And nowadays, I'm going to take a room. I'm going to use that one, you know. And I could hear that I no longer have a
Thank
bedroom
God your
here.
mom was smart enough to understand her family so well, such that she mentally prepares all of you for
Yeah.
such a day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So my father came, by the way, to the funeral. And he was the first person that left just immediately after the burial. I remember him calling my name, Ndhibu. I looked up, he's very tall. Oh, he died, by the way, I think 2 years later or something like that. And he waved, bye. And then he left. And then I started seeing people leaving. And I knew that this is now my reality. I could now hear conversations of, I'm going to take her room. I'm going to stay there. And we had spoken about this with my husband before, that if my mom was to die, would you take me in? Even though he was my husband, but it was not like something that was official. It was just us that we had signed, And we had spoken about it, and he had said yes, but I had to ask him again. And I said, are you still willing to take me and my brother with? And he said yes. And I just took my hand back and I left. Nobody asked where I was going. And I came back to Pretoria. I was still a student. Like he was still in primary, he was 12.
Sure. This is traumatic.
Yeah. But I am grateful that God gave me the strength. And I'm grateful that he, as much as the way that I got married was wrong, but for me, I feel like God knew what he was doing, because what would have happened to me and my brother if I had no one? Because he was the only one that I had. And I'm also grateful to his family, because I remember his mother, my husband's mother, called us and set us down in a garage. And she said that now that Ndhibu doesn't have a mother, are you aware that now you take her as somebody that has a child? So you are now a father to Lucky. Yeah, and Ati.
Sure, the aunt abekho baningi abanjalo.
Yeah.
Yini na ngikhuluma isiZulu esinjani manje? Ababaningi omamezala abanjalo who have that heart and that mentality. Uma ngabe nje ufika kuleso simo kwabaningi, you become a burden.
Yeah, you become a burden.
Hayi lo uzokuhlupha uzokulethela ikoloto njani uzane nezinqolo eziningi. You are just like somebody who's bringing imthwalo.
Yeah, a burden. And I mean, their son doesn't even have a child and everything. Now he has to take care of me and the son. Shem, they were very good and understanding. And I remember there was a time that the mother said, you can actually give me Lucky, I'll take care of him. But for me, I felt like I needed him closer to me.
Yeah.
So I said, no, we'll stay with him. But later on, I think 2 months in when we were staying with him, we had some problems and they took him. They stayed with him for the rest of the year. So Shem, I feel like God prepared them for me. They were very understanding. I didn't have any issues.
And you were blessed with in-laws that are loving.
Very loving.
It shows ukuthi they were genuinely loving you and so much prepared to even love ne extended family yakho oza nayo or nemthwalo yakho oza nayo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now you meet your husband at 19. How did you meet your husband?
I met him at church. I went to this other church and he was an usher. So he welcomed me and he was just speaking his high-grade English that I didn't even understand. But I could hear that, man, this guy, man, he's got something. But I could hear him speaking, welcome, hey, what? I don't know what he was saying, I met him at church and he loved me, I guess.
Love at first sight.
Love at first sight. But for me, it was not really love at first sight, because the reason why I was at that church, I was following a guy that had dumped me. So I was not there for that. Yes, I was there like to say, hey, I'm here. So then I met him, and when I got to the church, there was netball, what. Then I joined the netball, and my husband was actually a sponsor for that netball. So he was buying the netball team uniform and stuff like that. So that's when we became close and we started dating. And then 4 months into the relationship, the guy decided to go down on one knee and says he wants to marry me.
Wow.
Great. Sharp. I agreed. I said yes. And then 4 months later again, we then said, let's get married. But how that came about was because, my husband he was a hardcore Christian. He was not like me. No, he wasn't like
not
me.
Because
he didn't want to sin, he didn't want to fornicate or anything like that. He would say that we'll do it after marriage.
Yes.
So there came a time wherein we started staying together, right? Before getting married. with no fornication, even though nobody will believe that it's fine. So then he was a leader at church.
Yes.
I was now also the leader of the ushering team.
Yeah.
So then the church found out that we are staying together, the leadership.
And they concluded that kushuthi nenza umkhuba nina.
Well, that's what they said, well, even when we met. Because I was like, no, but if this is a church and I'm sure there's a prophet or something, can they not prophesy that
Yes.
we are not sinning? But there's never such a thing. If that thing do this, it must enter, whatever. That's what the pastor said, And they said, so you have to separate.
Yeah.
Ndhibu must get her own place and then Ushudu must have his own place. And then they said, go decide, make the decision. Next week, Sunday, come to let us know. If you don't decide to go your separate ways, it means that we will have to then move you from your positions, right? We was like, okay, sharp, we'll come back next week.
Yeah.
When we got home, my husband says, let's just get married. But you're right. Let's do it.
Just like that.
Just like that. Ngafonela Home Affairs, and I asked, how does it work? And then they said, no, you just come with 2 witnesses. I'm like, okay, sharp. We asked our friends. Grace, my adopted sister, we're like, can you be our witness? It's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
It sounds like a runaway bride movie.
Yes. And then they said, you can come on Tuesday. They gave us a time. So Tuesday, my husband takes a day off from work. And then as we were working there with our 2 witnesses, we walked from Pretoria Central to Home Affairs via Semi-Max and whatever. But then even when we were walking, Shem, I could see the guy was having second thoughts. I'm 100% sure. Because I remember there was a point when
I'm going to do this. I'm
going to get married. Because I remember I was like to him, they said we must bring those small pictures.
ID, yeah.
Yes, ID pictures. Let's take them here because there's always like, in Pretoria.
queue.
Yeah, whatever. So, and then he says, no, you go to Home Affairs. I will take the pictures. I'm like, but you can't take pictures on my behalf. But I think he wanted to run away. That's why he said, you go, I will take the pictures.
Like, how come?
Yes.
Where is it going to get your face now?
Exactly, and I was like, I could already see where this is going, So, shame, we waited there, we took the pictures. Even when we were walking, Shame, he was not okay. But then I was like, I'm not going to even say a lot of things because this guy he's on the verge. Like, when you are waiting for, if she says something, I'm going to say, I'm done. I didn't say anything bad. Like, I was a good girl. We got there. But for better, for worse, we signed. And then for you to give your marriage certificate, pay 70 rand.
Okay.
Got you? I paid 70 rand.
This has happened.
It has happened. We are married. So now Sunday comes.
So now go Home Affairs, but she some vows just like this.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was like a real wedding.
It's formal, everything.
Everything
They
is
follow every protocol.
The person there that was making us sign, he was even drunk. I remember that guy. But he prayed. He prayed for us.
Doing the job very well, motivated by some percent.
I had to exchange the rings because I was wearing my engagement ring. I had to take it off so that then you will put it nicely in.
Yeah.
And then we did that. Then we signed and then he prayed for us. And then we get our certificate. And then voila, we were married.
Right?
Yeah, so come Sunday, the leadership now, they want the decision. Hey, stay behind after the service. You know those meetings, most. We stay behind. And then, that's it, ta-da. And we were happy as, we felt like we did something great. You should have seen their faces. They were angry. They were not happy. So they ended up saying that, okay, now that you guys are, because at first they said, can't you just divorce in secret? You can't do this. This is wrong, blah, 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 blah. We're like, we're not divorcing. And then okay, give us your parents' numbers, blah, 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 so that we can call them. And I understand because they didn't want to be blamed because now, again, we are going to church in Pretoria. So it will be like maybe the church in Pretoria allows this such of thing. Like they just marry kids
just
without...
to protect abantu abahlala
Yes.
yeah.
So they wanted to protect themselves. So I remember even so we gave them the number on a Sunday. Come Monday, I was on a phone call with my mom. We were laughing, happy. And then we hang up. Good night, good night. 5 minutes later, she calls. I'm like, Ma, you forgot something. Ati, are you married? Ati, huh? Ati, are you married? Yes or no? Then I was like, I can explain. Ati, are you married? Ati, yes. Ati, pack your bags. Come back home tomorrow. Yeah, then I packed my bag the next day. He is waiting for the call, Pell. He's not coming. And he didn't come. I think a week later, the little sister called and said, Shudu, everybody's angry at home. So my husband, they actually disowned him because of that.
Yo.
Mina, my mom, I think also because she comes from a very loving family. It's a well-structured family with a husband and a wife and everything. They didn't understand why he would do such a thing. Like, why couldn't he tell us? With me, it was easier because it was just my mom. You know, I just like, no, mom, I'm in love, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay, no, it's fine if that's what you want. So, Mina, after going back, the next day I came back again to Pretoria because my mom now understood and everything. But with him, they disowned him until later on when we made peace and we had a wedding. Unfortunately, on the year that we had planned the wedding was the year that now my mom died. My mom died a few months before the wedding.
Aish.
But we had already been married for, I think, 2 years after signing. Yeah, because we signed when I was 19. And then my mom died when I was 21. So when I was 21, that's when we were about to get married.
So you guys went and get married like no offense to the colored community, but I've heard that that's what they do. That's why they marry so young, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did. No lobola,
No
nothing.
lobola, no manga business,
No.
no nonsense that waste money.
No, nothing. Until then, 2 years later, then we had a wedding, but it was just also for the family. Yeah.
Just a celebration, Yana.
Yes, but I was wearing a wedding gown and everything. It was a proper wedding.
15 years later, you're still here.
15 years later, we are here. And the son that we adopted, he's 24 years. So he's the same age as my sister's child. Remember I mentioned the sister's child?
The one, yes.
Yes. So my mom and my sister were pregnant on the same year. So we always joke about it that shame. They were just pregnant for me and my husband because they ended up being our sons.
Yeah, bo.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's 15 years later.
Sure. Yeah, ne? What a story.
Yeah, what a story.
What a story.
So that is the husband you were asking about that I introduced on the YouTube space. He's my partner in everything. There's no way that he was not going to be part of YouTube.
Everything.
There is no way he was not going to be part of it.
And you co-own the studio together now.
Yeah, we do.
You raise the kids together. That are your sister and your mother's kids and
Yeah.
your own boys.
Yeah.
A big, beautiful family. You are such an inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you guys so much. You are such an inspiration. You know why? People who get married, there's excitement, lobola, matching outfits and whatnot, have divorced by now.
Yeah, like I would say that, you know, it's by the grace of God that we are still together. Marriage is not easy. I don't want to lie. Marriage is, like I don't know, it takes a very strong person with God in order to endure and like be willing to say, we are going through this now, tomorrow will be better.
Yes.
Especially with my husband, Shem, he's one person. Then there are many times when I would say, you know what, I'm done. I just want to leave. And he would say, I made a vow. I'm not going anywhere and you're not going anywhere. We are going to solve this and we're going to make it.
And he seems like a very patient person. I'm saying this because it's not a lot of people who understand the already before.
He's very understanding. He is very understanding. Because I remember even with my sister's child, when we took him the first time, when he then did what he did and went back, he was like, I'm done. But shame, a few months later, he's like, nah, we can try again, you know? We can try again.
What keeps you grounded?
I think God. Yeah, I think for me it's God. Because also when I look at my life, it's been challenging. It's been challenging. Because remember also, I married an educated man and I was not educated. Because when I came this side to Pretoria, I was registered with tertiary institution, but I would faint every time after exams. So then I got to watch my friends and everybody graduate while I'm still on level 1. You know? So for me, that's why I say, shame, Jesus has just always been the center of my life. Had it not been for him, you know, I don't know where I would be.
And in the midst of that, you lost your mom as well. So there were just too many challenges.
There was just too many challenges. And my father, because I remember I said he was on and off, it got to a point wherein he was just never interested, especially after my mother died. Because I remember I called him and I said, can you just be a father to Lucky? Because I didn't want him to feel like he's an orphan when the father is still alive. And he didn't want to be part of our lives.
And it's a boy child.
And it's a boy child, you know. But my husband did a great job.
Indeed.
He did a great job, yeah.
What grade is Lucky now?
Lucky is a man. Lucky is married.
Lucky is the one that is married to Makoti.
Yes. We actually
I thought it was that the firstborn from the sister that is married, but she's that one is still trying to sort out his life.
That one is no, he's not married yet. Like he's the one that is married. He works for a very big company in South Africa. He's an international company. He has a wife. We got an opportunity.
I was so confused. I'm like, what is happening? Ndhibu is doing content. Makoti. What is going on?
Yes.
And this Makoti looks so sweet and young. I'm like, who is this?
She is the sweetest. Like, you won't believe that I and my husband, we actually went and negotiated lobola. We were speaking in Zulu, yes.
Unamang.
It was a broken Zulu. You know? Yeah, so like he's married, he's got a wife, and yeah, we have a daughter-in-law. Yeah, so
and soon in Zoba nabazukulu.
Yay! I can't wait. Yes, imagine mina nomzukulu. Yeah, but
beautiful.
Yeah, so you get to see that Shem, everything. It was just by the grace of God.
Indeed,
It was by the grace of God. Yeah.
Now we call him Pastor Bay. Is it because he's somebody who's grounded at church, or now he's been promoted into a pastoral position? And what happened to those abazalwane who thought that you did something that is very, very wrong? And where are they? And what are they saying now?
Okay, unfortunately or fortunately, we left the church, but after a very long time, we even when I had kids, we were still in the same church. I think it was just an embarrassment on their face, but they never really said anything about it. There was never, maybe we were wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are no longer part of that church anymore. So Shudu has always been a pastor.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So now because Mina Shem, I came bad wife. I came and I'm like, we are going to do gossip. Ne? So even when we will be doing gossip, our followers could tell that name, and this is a man of God. Because sometimes we will do lives and he will pray for people. Like just out of the blue, he will pray for people. People would even send messages, can you pray for us? I think they could see that, Jen.
I remember those videos.
Yeah, so he would pray for people. So this other time they said, we want to give him a name. So they said, because he's our pastor, and then he's Bay and Ndhibu. So he's Pastor Bay.
So he's going to be Pastor Bay.
So that's where the name comes from. Yeah, so that's why he is Pastor Bay.
But the pastors, did they ever came back to you and say, hey, we thought that this was just a joke because you were escaping the right way of doing things and you took a shortcut?
No, they didn't. And it is still the same pastor that actually ordained our marriage when we now had a wedding. So he briefly
speech did he give on
the pastor briefly mentioned it that, yeah, even if they didn't do things the right way in the beginning, but we are grateful that they are here now. Yeah. But I feel like it's also, with our older generations, they don't really like apologizing.
Yes.
You'll just see by the actions that shame.
And the jokes that come along.
The jokes that comes along.
Okay, it's being acknowledged.
It's being acknowledged. So yeah, there was never really like an official an apology or anything like that. And I guess now they watch us on social media because some of the people, they will be commenting. Then you're like, oh, is that one? Is that one? But yeah, it's all good.
And watching this movie unfold into a happy ending. Because there's no other ending, Pela Manje.
Yeah.
15 years later, you're still here. You're doing great. You're doing things together, and not just things, big business.
Yeah.
They usually say don't mix business with pleasure. But here is the two of you.
With us, Shem. I think also because we just became so close, because after we got married, remember, our friends were from church. And now people didn't want to be associated with that couple. Yes, so even our friends distanced themselves. So we ended up not even having friends. So it has just always been me and him. That's why it's so easy for us to just do things together, businesses would do together and everything.
You just didn't have a choice but to have each other's back,
we had
protect
no choice.
each other, be friends with each other, because now and I know they can be
they can be something else. So we had no choice. So we just, it was just I and him. Yeah.
Now, moving back to YouTube, you grace our screens with content that was rather very exciting, because I loved your video formats because they were never more than 5 minutes.
They were very short, 2 minutes max.
2 minutes max. It's quick and short. The story is done. But story, you grew to a point. I remember you were even attacked. Can we go there? The copycats. Oh, so is copying my content. Hey. Oh, I said I was going to do documentaries and now she's doing them and she's posting at 7. Those challenges, as YouTubers, there is this I don't want to call it a toxic behavior, but uyayibona lapha nalapha khona they always have this mentality yokuthi khana engazi ukuthi let us not go too far. How did you overcome that? Because khona lapho in that midst of that struggle, your content was rising, your followers was rising, you were shooting, you were creating different content from time to time, and khona manjala, you had another channel on top of another channel of top of namanje daisa channel. If you don't know, if you want to start a YouTube in a shortcut way, but be passionate about it, ne?
Yeah, come and buy. I still have.
Come and buy
I've
the
got
channel.
150K one money times. Like, I've got so many channels, guys. Come and buy. Just come and buy and make money. With me, I think I overcame all the challenges because I had a loving husband. My husband was always there for me. So when I come on YouTube, for me, it was work. Remember I said I never liked cameras.
Yes.
So fame and whatever was never part of it. For me, it was, I just wanted to make money. And when I came on YouTube, it was after 10 years of trying to get jobs and whatever. I was a domestic worker. I was a cleaner at PEP. I was a till packer at ShopRite and, you know. So
I remember there's one video where you actually mentioned that.
Yes.
Was this a documentary? I can't remember.
Yes. So I had been struggling. So when I came to YouTube, for me, it was for money. It was never for fame. It was never for friendships or anything like that. So I knew why I was there. And for as long as I still had love, home, I was complete. As long as I was still making money on YouTube, I was happy. So I never really have time to entertain the other things. The noise, it was easy for me to shut it out because I go to work and then I come back home and I'm with my family. So, you know, challenges will always be there.
Yeah, ne?
Yeah, but as long as they don't pass with you, you learn from them. Yeah.
I even remember at some point Sims made a comment that ever since she started becoming close to you, she started making more money.
Yeah, because then you must focus. I'm a very focused person. That's why even now, even when we are not longer on YouTube, but we are where we are today because of YouTube.
Because
and everything
of
started there.
Yes.
Everything started there. I'm very focused. I think also because I've suffered so much that I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to focus on the noise because if you are going there, someone is saying something, yeah, like I'm not gonna arrive, you know. So for me, I had goals. I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew why I was on YouTube. Yeah.
Wow. Now, at some point, you stopped YouTube. You stopped because you wanted to grow business-wise, still on YouTube, but growing into the side of like where we are now, or you stopped because you had made enough money. What happened there?
I don't think you can ever make enough money. And funny enough, when I stopped YouTube, I was making a lot of money because remember now, I had this main one. The T World that was the minimum was 80,000 rand a month. I had employees, I had staff, you know. Then I had other ones because remember with Ndhibu T and Pastor Bay, it was another channel as well where we were doing gossip. So we were doing gossip with that side and other channels as well.
And gossip flies.
It does fly.
I always advise people who want to start YouTube, just go to gossip.
Yeah, it
Go
flies.
to entertainment because you'll never go wrong there. If you know your celebrities and their trends, you are just okay.
You are just okay.
You are shorting a content.
Yes. So for me, it was not money, but I believe that God said it's time for me to stop. And besides that, I believe that gossip is a sin. It's in the Bible. And there were a lot of people that I was hurting when I was still doing gossip. Even though I can say I was never malicious, I tried to just say whatever that was happening. But what was happening behind, my conscience couldn't allow me. I was feeling guilty every single day. People, like celebrities will send me messages that you are tarnishing my brand and all these things. Whatever that you did, it's false news and all this. So I was never at peace.
Yeah.
So I decided that I'm dropping it.
Because I'm asking this because it came, I was like following you very closely. I noticed that Pastor Bay came into the picture and then suddenly we are dropping us on entertainment. And I was like, where am I going to get him go so quick? But everybody else is sitting down, is having a makeup on, they are drinking glasses of, and they are doing a long 30 minutes thing. I don't have time to listen to a 30 minutes thing.
Like it was not an easy decision because we were making a lot of money. But unfortunately, we just couldn't anymore. Even when we would read the Bible, that time when we are having a Bible study with the family, you just open the scripture, you go to the one that says gossip is a sin. Gossip is a sin.
And here you are, you're gossiping.
And here we are gossiping. And sometimes I would say to God, but my struggles. I struggled. Unemployment. I didn't have money, But it came to a point when he's like, do you think I cannot provide for you? So we dropped it, and after dropping the gossip, that's where Insane Studios was born. And even when we were starting it, we were like, yo, Pela, they normally say, they say it takes 18 months for you to start seeing the profit. We're going to struggle. We were preparing ourselves for the desert and whatever. But Stan Studio, when we started, it also started making money, and we never lagged. So for me, I would say everything is seasonal, you know. There's a season for this and there's a season for this. And when the season has come to an end, allow yourself to move from that season and go to the next one.
That's very true.
So for me, the season of gossiping and whatever, it came to an end. And I do not regret it. I thought I would struggle, but I'd already made peace with the fact that it's okay if I'm going to struggle, but I'm not going to be disobedient to God. And I guess me being obedient brought us here today.
Yeah, ne?
Yeah.
I remember at some point you you find yourself. We were in court. What happened? Did somebody arrested you for gossiping? What happened?
Yeah, you know what? You know, the things that we faced, and some of them we didn't even share. But yeah, we went through hell, hey? We went through hell. There was this other celebrity that we spoke about. We exposed, and that one was exclusive. So we exposed him. And at that time, I didn't know that it could get that serious. You know, sometimes when you're on YouTube, you think celebrities are
Allegedly,
not
you are safe.
Yeah, and celebrities are just celebrities. You know, they're not going to come to me. They're not going to attack me or anything like that. So you are safe. So I get a phone call. My phone number was there on Instagram. I get a phone call. Hi, police, Edenvale. We've got someone here that is looking for you. They said you did want to. I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I started shaking. I call my husband, come back to work. He was at work. He was still working. Now he's no longer working. We are here full time. So he came back, and then I asked the neighbor to look after the kids. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I even had like legal what that I was paying at FNB. That's when I realized that nonsense. I called them when I'm on my way there. I'm like, hey, I've got a case. I'm thinking my legal team now is going to come and represent me. Don't talk to me, talk to my lawyer. But yeah, allow them to arrest you. You send us a court case. We'll come on Monday. Get way.
This happened on a Friday.
It was on a Friday.
So you must go and get arrested,
Yes.
and then on Monday they will assist you.
They will come and assist me. I get there. Worst part, when I get there, I found that celebrity taking pictures with the police people there. I already knew that I've lost. Like already these people are worshipping this person.
Ish.
So we get in.
You're the one who's wrong now in acrimony.
I'm the wrong one. When I get there, the person came with his wife. Now I'm with my husband there. Now the husband, the egos, they're fighting. I'm deep that I'm scared because I'm like, that's my voice. That is, if they're going to arrest someone,
It's you.
it's me. My husband is here with me, yes, but this one will go back to the kids. I'm going to sleep here. They fight in there. And then the police ended up saying that, no, the men must go out. So I remained with the wife. So the story
was about a wife.
The story was about the wife abusing the husband.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So the
Very
husband.
sensitive matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now the husband, they go out. The good thing is that lady was like, you know what? I just want the video not to be there.
Just remove the
Just
video.
remove it. I don't want problems. And Ati, I want you to apologize as well. That hi, deleting I can, but apologizing, it's going to ruin my reputation. Can't I just delete it? We made peace there. I privatized the video and that was it. But it didn't end there. There were a lot of celebrities that would stalk us. I remember even before the lockdown. So we bought this house a month before lockdown, right? There was a celebrity that was stalking us. Sure. Even when we would be driving, dropping the keys, there was always a car behind us. But thank God, that's the time that we were moving, and then there was lockdown. So that's everything then just became calm.
So it's an exciting space. It's a space where we can actually make money, but it's not safe.
It's not safe. It is not safe. I even know other people that are still doing in the entertainment because there are people that I'm still close to that are YouTubers that they are going through it. They are. It's not a safe space.
Ndhibu, you have been in the entertainment on YouTube for such a long time. What do you think about cancel culture? Just taking it njengikhe phezulu ngale situation eyenzakalayo njengamanje uMinintuli being on the Real Housewives of Durban. Well, she does things the way she's doing them. We don't know whether it's scripted or she just went overboard with the scripts. And now people want her out of the radio.
With cancel culture, firstly, I don't think it works. It favors people. There are people that have done a lot of horrible things, more than what Umini did, that were never cancelled. You know, maybe there could be like noises here and there, but because of the name, they're never cancelled. I think it's easier for people that are not so big in the industry to be cancelled. But I think everything should just be a learning curve. Allow a person to learn. I want to believe that when you have done something wrong and everybody's saying it, you have learned your lesson. You know, Nami, when I went to the police station, whatever. That's the point when I was learning.
Yeah.
That, I don't have to, it's not every step that you must do. It's not everything that you must do.
Yes.
So I want to believe that with whatever that Omini did, I'm not really following the story, but there must be grace. Grace for everyone. No one is perfect. We are all somewhere, somehow faulted somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, ne?
But I feel like with the cancel culture, if it was fair on everyone, then okay, good. You do something wrong, maybe you get cancelled, whatever, it's fine. But the thing is, it favors. It favors. It depends who's who. Yeah.
An upcoming YouTuber who thinks that one day they can actually be like Ndhibu T, what advice can you give them?
Treat it like a business. Treat it like a business and it will reward you. I still believe that YouTube is, maybe because it changed my life, I feel like it can still change many people's lives.
Yeah.
But you must treat it as a business. Shut down. The noise will always be there. As much as in workplaces, 9 to 5, there are toxic people, colleagues and whatever.
That's true.
Every way, there are going to be challenges. There is going to be someone that doesn't like you. There is going to be someone that will say 1, 2, 3. But focus. Understand why you are there. Have your why. I had my why. I was there to make money. I was not there to play. I was not there to make friends. I was there to make money. And that's what I did.
And you did make money.
A lot. I don't want to lie.
The proof is because of all of this we are seeing now.
Yes.
It actually was, it enabled you to give you the capital to start whatever that you are doing now. And I'm sure you are still going somewhere. You've got bigger plans.
I do. I remember there was a time that my husband is a qualified person. He's a qualified engineer. There was a time that YouTube will double his salary. And he would say, what's the point of the degree? If you can just sit and do this and you make way more money.
Yeah.
But it depends on how you are treating it.
Yeah.
You treat it like a business. It will reward you like a business. Don't treat it like a hobby. One day you are here, tomorrow you are not. Yeah, you want to follow things and whatever. Like, have your goal set.
Then people are wondering what happened to your channel.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, but be consistent.
Yeah, ne?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ndhibu. I really enjoyed talking to you. I know you and I can talk forever, so
We can talk.
can talk till the sun comes up. But now, because we are treating this like a business,
So you can't even take advantage and say, I'm with the boss here. So let's continue. Let's go overboard.
because we are taking this like a business. I think you heard from the horse's mouth. Treat this like a business. If you are an upcoming YouTuber, there is your free advice right there. Treat your space like a business. YouTube would love you. Algorithm. What do you think about algorithm favoring? I know I'm throwing you into a political side of things.
Yeah.
What do you think about algorithms favoring certain channels over certain channels?
Hey, I don't know about that, because I feel like sometimes it also depends on what you're doing on the YouTube. So you can, like when I started YouTube, I didn't start as a gossiper. I started doing a couples channel. It was called We Fun Couple. 7 months in, 100 subscribers, no views. Do you get it? And then that same channel is the one that
They're
became...
paying off seeing a lot of subscribers, but there are no views.
But there are no views. So I think sometimes the niche that you are in might not be favoring you. So maybe change, because with that channel that I was doing, couples channel content, I changed it to reviews. Within a month, it was monetized. I just went and I was talking about Utando Nestembu. Within that month, it was already monetized. But the problem is sometimes you say, this is my passion, I want to do this. And this that you're doing is not loving you. Sometimes get the message. Like,
so be flexible.
Be flexible. Try everything. You can't just say, Mina, I love this. This is where I'm going. No. There are many people that have done a lot of niches until they find the one. So find what is working for you. It's not only about what you love. It's also about the receivers. What do they want from you? You can go do gossip and it doesn't work well for you. The next person can go do... I mean, we do have gossip channels that are struggling. But then we'll say, no, but they do well. But there are those that are struggling. Try something else. Just because it worked for many doesn't mean that it will work for you. But try different niches.
Ne?
Be flexible.
Yeah. Be flexible. That's how we are ending today's conversations. Thank you so much. And please do join in on the next episode. Ndhibu, let's say goodbye.
And that's it for now. Do leave your comments down below. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Bye.
I had to do that because you mentioned it.
Hello, sanibonani dumelang igama uzandi isibongo umfeka umalwandle lo lwandle kalola lwezibhekane zonke sihambela le kude phezulu Do join.